Well, within the span of 2 months, the pump price of petrol per litre has been jacked up twice. From 617 naira per litre, the price was increased to 998 naira per litre following the decision of the Nigerian National Petroleum Company Limited to withdraw as the sole off-taker of petrol from the Dangote Refinery. Prices have now increased to between 1,010 naira and 1,200 naira in some petrol stations across Nigeria's capital here in Abuja. Arise News spoke with some car owners who confirmed the new petrol prices, expressing concern that the increase is greatly affecting their purchasing power and businesses. Commuters and motorists continue to struggle with adapting to the new price and its effect on the cost of living.
Seriously, I don't know. I just know that it's above 1,000. I don't bother checking. Government will have to look for other areas and generating revenue. So as for fuel, the oil marketers, the importers, those that have to do with the market will control the price for now.
The current price of oil is 1,100. So it's too cost now. The price of oil is too cost. So because there is many challenges, the challenges we have in this country, and the pressure we are receiving in this country always. And looking at even the price of food is cost and fuel is cost. So this present government has to consider us.
Some places is 1,150 naira. Like this Epina is 110. Like this Nico for Wuse 2, their own is 1,098 naira. Like before, I buy for like 10,000 and like 2,000 naira. I feel make like 10,000. But now we can buy fuel 18 liter if you're 20,000 naira. But before you go get that 20 naira, if you're not careful now, that your money is no come out.
That's the reality that Nigerians and motorists face today. We're joined now by the National President of Petroleum Products Outlets Owners Association of Nigeria, Gillis-Harry. Also with us in the studio is oil and gas expert Olabode Sowunmi. Thank you, both of you gentlemen, for joining us on Newsnight. Let me start with the marketers. Well, let me quote what Dangote said to the NNPCL and marketers like yourself. He says, look, stop importation. We have enough fuel for local consumption. And that's Dangote talking to NNPCL and marketers. But it does seem that marketers prefer to import what we have in large quantity, what a refinery has more than enough, and that's according to Dangote. Your reaction, Billy Gillis?
Well, good evening. Thank you for having me on the Newsnight. We are only hearing, from the news after the visit of the chairman of Dangote Refineries that he has 500 million liters stored, and he's beckoning on marketers to come and take the product. The fact is, we're only hearing that today. And we in PETROAN have communicated severally to Dangote Refinery our ability and our willingness to pick products to trade with him. But you don't trade in a vacuum. You trade with information and facts and possibly negotiate values that will be able to make the business to work. So, and willingness also. So,
go ahead.
So right now, that is the challenge. So we certainly hope that Dangote will soon have a meeting of mind with us, and then we can determine what the business climate is like. It's a deregulated environment in the business, and I don't think any one segment of the business should tell the others what to do or what not to do.
I'm supposed to come to Olabode, but I want to stay with you for a bit for a follow-up. We have two clear things here. By the way, apologies for your patience, Olabode. Two things here. First, you say there is no information. You are unaware that he has 500 million liters for you and your members. And on the other hand, you're also speaking, saying, well, this shouldn't be monopolized. You have the liberty, the independence to go all out to get petrol elsewhere. Help us, for those of your members like yourself going out to get petrol, is it cheaper? Does it help us better, the end consumer, and yourself as a business owner to get that from overseas as against getting it from Dangote Refinery?
At this time, PETROAN is taking products from NNPC retail, and we also assess products through the Depot Marketers Association from their various depots. These products we're able to pay and lift because we know the conditions of the business, we know the price, we know the dynamics of how the business is working. If you ask me what is the price that Dangote Refinery is selling now, as a retail outlet owner, I cannot tell you. So that is not the way our business is organized. We should expect that Dangote Refinery, having done such a great job, will have a business meeting with the stakeholders. His invitation for us from the State House that marketers should come and take the product is we are willing, but how do we meet to make that decision to work? That's the question. Now, if I don't start the process of seeking how to import, PETROAN today has floated a company, PETROAN Energies Limited, and we have determined to either make business available for our members through our own self-help by importing after we have been licensed, or we take product from NNPC, or we take from the Depot Marketers Association, that's one of the major marketers who also giving us product, or we get from Dangote Refinery, but we must know the terms of business. We must know the pricing, the dynamics, the method of how we should be able to work. And that is where we are now.
Bring in this short clip and hear the man, Dangote.
The retailers should please come forward and pick. If they don't come forward and pick, what do you want me to do? There's nothing that I can do. So I am expecting either NNPC or the marketers to stop importing. They should come and collect. We have what they need. And, as they remove, I'll be pumping. I don't know whether you understand what it takes to keep 500 million liters inside our tank. It's costing me money. Every day, if I will be able to collect the naira, I can actually charge somebody 32% in interest. So right now, that's what I'm losing. And you are talking about 500 billion. We don't print money, but the issue is that if they come and collect, then you will not see any queues in the filling stations.
Right, Olabode, show me. Let's bring you in here. You heard what Billy Gillis said there. He's of PETROAN, Petroleum Products Outlet Owners. And he's saying, look, we're ready to, do whatever it takes to ensure that we stay in business. Let's get your take on this. And, of course, Dangote is saying there, come and take fuel. I have plenty. There's 500 million liters waiting to be taken off.
Okay, thank you. Good evening once again, and thanks for having me. I think there are certain fundamentals which, for some reason, are not actually being discussed. And owing to the political nature of this, the cutting-edge political nature, a lot of the participants they are more or less walking on edge in terms of this. But these are some facts that I know about the matter. I don't know everything. I'll just try and analyze them and see them sequentially as I understand them. Then we can make do with whatever we... I think as at the time when Dangote was licensed, when the initial issues came up between themselves and the regulator, there was a complaint by one of the major marketers, I believe it was Iwaye Shafa, who claimed that they bought diesel at that time from Dangote at about 1,000 naira per liter equivalent, vessel boxes. But at the point of disbursement into their vessels, the Dangote announced reduction of the diesel price to 800. So they did a protest letter to the regulator saying that they believed it was a calculated attempt to destroy their business. So those were some of the issues, background issues that the regulator was having when there was the demand for the withdrawal of all their licenses, which was part of the reason why there was so much reluctance from the regulator to withdraw their licenses. On the part of the marketers, that's the depot owners, what they are saying is that, and that needs to be confirmed by Dangote, but what they are saying is that Dangote is only offering them to offload sales through gantry, that is through trucks alone, and not bulk sales via vessels. So in other words, they are...
but Dangote says he's not a retailer. So
so that there's a difference between what he says and what the other party says. But what they are saying is that he is not giving them in the bulk sales that they are used to. He's giving them in retail, which is not profitable. So if you pick that with some of the statements like meeting of minds, like agreement on prices and all that, it is possible that this, I mean, I'm not a stakeholder per se, so that's why I'm not necessarily mincing words in saying what I understand to be the issues. But there is the belief among the stakeholders, the value chain, in terms of the marketing value chain, that if Dangote were to have his way, all their businesses will die. And as a result, they are very careful in the deals that they do, in the agreements that they have with him, and they are very insistent that they are not going to buy at finicky small prices, but at the bulk sales that they are used to buying, so that they can keep their businesses afloat. That is my own understanding of the issues at play.
Let me bring Billy Gillis-Harry here. Listening to Olabode, what can you tell us? How factual are those comments that some of your members are a little bit skeptical about dealing with Dangote? Let us in on that.
PETROAN members are not skeptical dealing with Dangote Refinery. We have opened our hands to Dangote Refinery even before President Buhari commissioned the Dangote Refinery. We have requested for a clearly strategic and defined business meeting. Those meetings should be able to discuss, amongst other things, strategies, modalities, pricing, and so on. We in PETROAN have not got that. And the information Mr. Sowunmi is giving in the studio is what probably he gleaned from reading different input from others. Within the stakeholder community, we are not skeptical to deal with Dangote. We want to deal and do business with him, but we need to do business on a very clear term. We need to have understanding of what the business model should be. We need to know the prices.
Very quickly, unfortunately, we don't have much time, but that direct question asked by Sulai earlier, I mean, is it cheaper to import petrol than purchasing from a local refinery, whether it's Dangote or any other refinery for that matter? In 30 seconds, please, Billy Gillis.
If we have a price definition from Dangote, we will then know whether what we're buying from NNPC is cheaper or more expensive. NNPC is bringing in both products from import and other sources. So far, that's where we're getting our sources from. And we want to widen our scope of sourcing for product. So we are more than happy to deal with Dangote Refinery. But we need to deal on a clear terms of how this will function. So I cannot answer the question of the cheapness of the price when we don't know what the price is.
Point made. Sowunmi, please, I'd like to get your reaction in 30 seconds if you can. Dangote says, look, it has the capacity to produce more than 30 million liters, if that's per day, if it gets the enough crude. Is there a question around, crude supply? Is that an issue here? Are you seeing that?
Well, Dangote has a refinery,
right,
and the refinery has a certain capacity. If he says the refinery can produce at a certain capacity, there are those who are responsible for verifying that kind of information. That's the regulator. So I think that is something the regulator should speak to. However, there are all kinds of information out there with respect to the refinery not producing to capacity and all that. But until somebody is able to actually look into what is happening in the refinery, you cannot say for a fact. And the only people that sees that is the regulator. So somehow, I think maybe under Freedom of Information Act, the media should actually ask the regulator and Dangote itself, what is their capacity?
Well, we'd like to thank you for your time, Billy, Gillis-Harry, and Olabode Sowunmi. Clearly, we're also still opening this to Dangote and its spokesperson to clearly say to Nigerians at what rate it is selling petrol to retailers, and also see how they can bridge this communication gap.
Yep.
Yeah, it's clearly very unthinkable.